Hi, I'm Kai Strand, author of the short story Queensicle. You can find Queensicle in Knowonder's story collection, Volume 4, Herman's Horrible Day. I'd like to read some of the story to you now. Queensicle. Layla sucked in a deep breath of frigid air into her lungs. She loved the Arctic tundra's dark landscape and temperatures so cold your nose hairs froze together when you sniffed. Her family had just returned from a research trip to Montana. Her parents were habitat conservationists and took the family south for half the year to observe the natural relocation of the snowy owl during its population spike. While she was away, Layla longed for uninterrupted skylines and suffered the heat of above freezing temperatures. She had also missed her best friend Finn, a Laplander boy who she only saw a few months of the year since he and his family were nomadic reindeer herders. Reindeer is another name for caribou. Layla was in luck. She returned only 2 weeks after Finn and his family. "What's Montana like?" Finn asked. "Hot," said Layla. Finn chuckled. "It's not funny. The coldest the temperature ever got while we were there was the warmest it gets here. I thought I was going to burst into flames." Finn browsed through the photos Layla had on her iPod. "It's pretty. So many trees." "It's weird. We learn that people build things out of wood, but to see it in person was crazy. Houses, signs, so many fences. Everything was made of wood. It was hard to get used to." Layla frowned. "It seemed so wasteful." Finn handed Layla her iPod. "Hot, huh? Was it hot enough to swim in a lake?" Layla shook her head. "Not while we were there. If we had stayed a couple more months, it would be." "So even though you were born down in the States, you prefer permafrost, huh?" Finn asked. "There's nothing like bogs in summer and miles of frozen landscape in the winter," Layla said. "The colder, the better. I'll just call you Queensicle, ruler of the Arctic tundra. The lemmings are my subjects. Arctic foxes are generals in my army," Layla laughed. "And what am I?" Finn asked. "My king," Layla said before thinking. It was too late to take it back. Both she and Finn blushed, like the temperature approached freezing instead of the sub-zero it registered on the thermometer. "I mean, prince. Whatever a queen's brother would be." Finn nodded and then waved for her to follow him. "I almost forgot. I have a present for you." Layla followed Finn inside his house. She greeted his mother while his grandmother squished both Layla's cheeks between her palms and kissed her forehead. Giggling, Layla squeezed her grandmother tightly. "Good to see you again, too." When she turned to Finn, he'd taken off his parka, scarf, and gloves and stood holding something behind his back. "You look so old. Like you're 12 instead of 10, Layla said to him. "How did you grow so much in such a short time?" He rolled his eyes. It's been 7 months. You grew too, I think." He squinted at her while she unwrapped the fuzzy purple scarf from around her face. She laughed at his careful examination of her face. "Nope, I was wrong. Still pretty much the same Layla under all those layers." He chuckled when she frowned. "You'll always be short. Look at your parents." "What do you have for me?" she asked, changing the subject. Craning her neck, she tried to peek around his body. He pursed his lips. "We finally lost the old ghost." "Oh, no," Layla said. The old ghost was a caribou with an unusually light coat that almost looked white. He was larger than most caribou, with antlers that twisted and forked at odd angles. He was considered a non-typical caribou because of his differences, and was always a favorite of Finn's. "It's okay. He was very old and lived a good life," Finn said. "I made you a gift, so you'll always remember him." Finn finally pulled his hands around front of his body, and Layla gasped. She looked from Finn to what he held, and then back to Finn again. "Did you make them?" Layla reached forward and took the pair of mittens Finn offered. "I did. I used a pair of my mother's as an example. They may be big now, but I didn't want you to grow out of them. Not that you ever grow," Finn teased. Oh, they're beautiful. Layla turned each mitten over to examine them. She rubbed her hand over the whitish fur, enjoying the coarse but soft feel on her skin. She slid them into her hands and clapped them together. Oh, they are wonderful. Thank you. Finn smiled, a blush on his cheeks. But the old ghost was your favorite reindeer. Why did you make gloves for me? Layla asked. I was able to make myself a vest and a lap rug for the sled, so I will always remember the old ghost too. Finn considered her. You know, I have one piece of hide left that I didn't know what to do with, but now I do. Come back tomorrow, and I'll have one more gift for you. To find out what happens next in Queensicle, go to knowonder.com, that's www.knowonder.com, and order a copy of Herman's Horrible Day. Thank you.